new storm has formed in season number 4. It's a grand national tour that ends near the California shores. Home track heroes take on big league talent. OGs return while fresh meat joins the fold. In a competition where fortune only rewards the bold. So who's willing to knock off a few doors? It's about who wants it more. In 2024.
This is what you're waiting for. I think we're ready to rock.
Sean Melody, a third-time winner. Ryan Truex gets it done. Clapper goes 3-1 and passes several cars. Foley comes out of the final corner to win.
Jordan Durasic will win this race.
Here they come across the line. Your race winner is going to be Matt Cherry.
See, in the end, nobody really cares where you got your start. The only thing that matters is where you finish.
The 2023 Thunderclap iRacing Series champion is Ryan Truex.
Things ready to roll here for Wednesday night. It's the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by the TLC Incorporated, and we are here at the World Center of Racing at Daytona International Speedway for their Daytona 250. Good evening, everyone. I am Taylor Burris. Alongside me is Nick Stein. Our producer is the great Austin Derbyshire as we get ready for some exciting racing action here to kick off the 2024 Thunderclap Series. Nick, it's an exciting race from start to finish, and we're looking forward to seeing the action here tonight.
Yeah, tonight is going to be an absolutely amazing night. I mean, we saw the duels in qualifying last Wednesday night, and those were already a blast. So if this race is going to be anything like those duels in that qualifying night were, then we are in for a treat tonight, and it is going to be a good one.
It absolutely is. We're happy to have you with us here on Grid Vision as we get set to bring you the action here. Warm-up is just wrapped up. Of course, for those of you who tuned in last week here on Grid Vision, we had our dual races to set the field for the 2024 Daytona 250, and it's going to be one that's going to be exciting to watch here as we get ready to do battle here at the World Center of Racing. Drivers are getting themselves situated for the final warm-up, and we will give you your starting lineup for tonight's action. Nick, a couple of things we also got to talk about here is some of the things with this new season, a lot of new cars. Of course, last year we utilized a different car, or you are now utilizing the NASCAR next-gen car with this series.
A new storm has formed in season number 4.
So a little bit different, but still a lot of great racing.
It's a grand national tour that ends near the California shore.
One that everyone's going to be talking about is defending series champion, of course, none other than Ryan Truex.
Yeah, it'll be definitely a different beast coming from the Xfinity car into the Cup car, but it really won't be that hard of a transition, all things considered, especially since the first race is always at Daytona. And of course, my keys to the race here, it's going to be just my normal keys to the race here at Daytona. Avoid the chaos. I mean, it is Daytona. It's self-explanatory. Chaos is everywhere and nowhere at the same time, so if you can avoid it, you should be fine. Find your friends early, find your teammates, find your the people you can work with in the draft and you can work with to get a win tonight. And of course, watch out for pit road. Get on the pit road safely. Get off the pit road safely. Don't get penalties tonight. The Daytona Police Department is definitely going to be out in force tonight enforcing those speeding penalties. So if you watch out, get on and off pit road, you should be good to go tonight.
Yeah. Well, with that, it is time to give the most famous words in all of motor racing as we get set to get your starting command for tonight's action here at Daytona.
Welcome to the 2024 Thunderclap iRacing Series Daytona 250, presented by TLC Incorporated. Now let's get this race started. Drivers, start your engines!
Well, as the field gets themselves lined up on the grid, Nick, let's go ahead and make our picks for tonight's action. The driver I picked is going to be the brother of the defending series champion. He's got a little bit of work to do, but he's starting inside the top 10. The number 69 of Tyler Truex is my pick for tonight.
I would have took the other Truex brother, Ryan Truex, defending series champion here tonight. He's going to be starting a lot further back than yours is. He's starting 29th position tonight, so he's got some work to do, but it should be a good one.
And our producer, Mr. Austin Derbyshire, picked Sean Bounty for tonight. He's going to be starting in excellent prime condition on the front row as we now give you your starting lineup for tonight's racing action here at Daytona. On the pole, Jordan Jurassic set the pace here in tonight's action as he will lead them to the green flag. In second place will be Sean Bounty. Row 2 will see Matt Cherry and Justin Clapper, your two dual race winners from last Wednesday night. In row number 3, we'll see Thomas Aaron and Robert Colgan in the row 3 spot in 5th and 6th. In row 4 will be TJ DeBlasi and Tristan Bruce in 7th and 8th. Rounding out your top 10 in row 5, Tyler Truex and Bo Condon is in the 10th position. Nick?
Starting off row number 6 tonight is going to be Noah Rainwater on the 0-5 with Matt Garrett starting in 12th position. Row 7, Steven Lachinsky in 13th with Damian Nisa going to be in 14th in that 24 machine. Row number 8 here is going to be Anthony Burleson with Tommy Allen Jr. in that 28 car. 88 going to be starting off in 17th of Oscar Henson with Matt Hoyland in 18th. Chase Albright in 19th, and Todd Lee going to be right out at your top 20 tonight.
Starting in row 11 will be Ryan Zunk and Lucas Whitehead, followed by Robert Walton and Brandon Slow in row number 12. Greg McConey and Joshua Kohner will be starting in 25th and 26th with Nicholas Tomlinson, and Andrew Olszewski will be starting in 27th and 28th. Rounding out the top 30, row 15, Ryan Truex and Matt Holmes.
Running out the field, they're going to be Dominic K. Hart with Bobby Grant in 32nd, Brandon Schumann 33rd, Daniel Lyle in 34th, Reed Foley 35th, Chase J. Leahy in 36th, Gregory Shepstis in 37th, and Kyle Newkirk starting shotgun on the field tonight.
As the field will work their way behind Benny, the pace car driver, for one additional lap. Gives you the chance, the fans, to find your favorite driver out in the field here tonight as we get ready to go racing once again. 100 laps around the World Center of Racing as they make their way through. Of course, one driver got to keep an eye on is that Rebel Racing Machine Toyota. Of course, we saw him run some incredible pace during the duels last week. Sean Bounty. Jordan Jurassic, he took a little bit more of a cautious approach last week as he was still able to sit on the pole for this weekend event. But Matt Cherry, Justin Clapper, your dual race winners, they are going to be also some fan favorites to watch tonight.
Yeah, that all means a lot when it comes to qualifying position, but what's everyone's favorite saying at a plate track? Qualifying position means absolutely nothing when it comes to 100 laps tonight. So, yeah, these guys, they have good starting position, and they're in a very, very safe spot to start this race. But you and I both know these races can go from calm to crazy in less than a lap. So you could be at the front and be at the back the next lap. So that just shows how crazy Daytona can get. So starting position is pretty nice, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean nothing. It's a lap 99.
Absolutely here. And of course, we saw this past couple of weeks with the racing at Daytona how it was a little bit of a calmness, if you thought about it, where we saw drivers go single file, double file, really not pushing the envelope here. Could we possibly see that here tonight with our drivers?
I mean, I don't think we're going to see anything too aggressive here tonight. I mean, of course, as soon as I say something, it usually gets proven wrong within the first 10 or so minutes after I say it. So who knows? Maybe these guys could go absolutely hog wild, 3 wide the entire race and have an absolutely insane barn burner of a race. Or it could be a totally calm race. I'm going to keep saying this tonight, Taylor. It's Daytona. We have no idea what's going to happen tonight.
Well, lights are out on the pace car. 38 of the best drivers in the Thunderclap series are about to go up to speeds, hitting speeds of 200 miles an hour for 100 laps. Benny, the pace car driver, one of the hardest working men in iRacing, about to make the hard left turn down onto pit road to send it over to another hard-working man. Barney the Flag Man will have the green flag in hand as we get set and ready to bring the thunder here at Daytona. Ladies and gentlemen, the season opener at Daytona. Field now working their way up to speed right now. Jordan Durasic holds strong in position. He'll drop down to the bottom of the racetrack, leaving the driver of course, none other than the driver of the 63 of Justin Clapper stuck on the outside lane. He's got a little bit of help behind him, but right now your main competitors of Jordan Durasic and Sean Bounty lead the charge on the bottom of the racetrack with help from Matt Cherry. Clapper still trying to get the outside working with help from Robert Colgan as they head down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, the 93 of Thomas Aaron in the UNT machine will jump to the outside along with him. Bo Condon thinks about trying to follow suit. He'll stick to the outside lane as well.
Coming off of turn number 4, definitely looks like it's going to be Jordan Durasic leading lap 1, being pushed by Sean Bounty, and it will be as Jordan Durasic leads lap 1.
Absolutely, as the field works their way through, 1 lap in the books, and drivers now just trying to negotiate here around the circuit, trying to find their right dancing partner, get themselves comfortable. 100 laps, it may seem not like a long time, but if you think about it, that's about half the distance of what we saw for the Daytona 500 a couple of weeks ago here in the real world. Still a lot of different strategies that you can pull in order to get yourself situated for this race. Here comes a big push right now as the 45 of Matt Cherry will lead the charge with help on the outside from Thomas Aaron as they come out of turn 3 and 4. And will we see Matt Cherry jump down to the bottom? No, he's going to stay tucked up as you have a group of 10 drivers battling it out for the race lead as they come across the line.
Yeah, you were talking about some different strategies that we'll see on tap tonight, and we're already starting to see that play out here. We got a lead pack of, I believe that's 12 cars right there, and then as soon as you get off of that lead pack, sitting in 13th, Chase Albright is the lead of this second pack already, so already starting to see that multiple packs starting to form up here, and this is going to be probably what we're going to see most of tonight unless we see a few cautions. So a lot of guys wanting to play it safe and stay off of the lead pack, which is 9 times out of 10 where your first wreck is going to come from is out of that lead pack for people fighting a little bit too hard. But yet some different strategies already starting to form here.
Absolutely. As they work their way through, you see about 6 cars on the outside lane, about 5 on the bottom lane. That's about 11 cars battling it out. Then you got to go another 3.5 seconds till you get to your next group, which is 12th on back pretty much, as everyone tries to jockey for position. A couple of other drivers have already broken away from the field as well. There are single cars, such as Tom Allen Jr., Chase Leahy, Greg Sepstis, and Reed Foley are pretty much by themselves with Kyle Newkirk. Looking over the field, Newkirk along with Reed Foley, they are about to be put a lap down here momentarily by your race leaders.
And we've got a few people that have completely fallen off of the pack already. Chase Leahy, Gregory Shepsis, Reed Foley, and Kyle Newkirk have all completely fallen off, almost going laps down here to your lead pack already. So interesting strategies there, but seems to be what their plan is, go safe and slow until the final parts of this race.
Well, there's going safe and going slow that's beneficial, but this, when you're about to be put a lap down, not even 10 laps on the board, it's a little bit concerning right now, because looking at the times right now, they are just now coming into turn 3, and their leaders are in the middle of the backstretch and closing fast on those 2 drivers.
Yeah, there's a pretty huge speed difference between currently last place being Kyle Newkirk and your leader right now. Kyle Newkirk doing 185 miles an hour off of turn 4. Of course, this lead pack is up into the 190s right now, hitting right around 190 on the dot. 192, 193. So, yeah, they are catching very, very quickly here. It won't be long before Kyle Newkirk goes a lap down here. And especially if this race were to go green, coming back from a lap down is one of the hardest things to do here at Daytona.
It really is there, Nick, and drivers are going to have to try to find a way to get that opening ready for them in order to make it work for them. Right now, your race leaders are doing really well trying to get themselves going, get the momentum on their side, as we see Jordan Durasic in the Ruthless Racing Chevrolet gets a big push from Sean Bounty in the Rebel Racing machine as they go side by side with Matt Cherry and Thomas Aaron. Clappers, that third car on the outside, the 21 machine of Tristan Bruce, the third car on the bottom. Everyone else has joined up to the top side of the racetrack, so it's pretty much a even, or a little over an even split, 8 and 3, 8 on the top, 3 on the bottom, and they're slowly pulling away from the 19 of Matt Garrett, which he is almost be put in no man's land.
Yeah, that's one thing that we really saw that was prevalent in the duels is we saw one line being favored by everyone with a couple of stragglers trying to make the other line work. And that seems to be what we're seeing here. You know, in the duels is, a little bit low car getting sideways there. But as I was saying, in the duels, we were really seeing that inside line being favored, seeing as it was such a shorter race compared to what we're here at now. But it looks like people are now starting to prefer that outside with the warmer track temps here in the day as compared to the night. So I think, yeah, that outside line is definitely going to be preferred tonight, and it's already starting to show.
It really is. Everyone's really trying to get to that outside lane as best as possible and just logging laps, waiting to get to that first pit stop. Then things might spice up a little bit here, and then we'll see how the field works out as they come around through turns 1 and 2. No pressure, really. Keep an eye on some of the other drivers in the second group that is led by Chase Albright in 12th position. Pretty much that whole group of drivers is running on the bottom of the racetrack, not wanting to make any moves. They're just going to try to stick together, trying to see if they can give a little bit of breathing room to catch up to your top 11. And then other than that, everyone's just separated by multiple seconds from 34th on back. You have a two tandem of Chase Leahy and Gregory Sepsis, Reed Foley and Kyle Newkirk, who are just now on your screen, if you look at it, not too far from your race leaders as they come across the line, putting now 9 laps on the board.
Yeah, I think this is what we're going to see for at least the first couple of round of pit stops here, is this kind of stalemate right here. You see that the outside line, they'll get a few cars of momentum going, and then that inside line will come back for just a moment and start falling back again. I think this is what we're going to see. Not really anyone wanting to make too many crazy moves here, as, again, we're only on lap 9 out of 100. So I think once we get through a couple of round of pit stops and these guys start to get a little bit more comfortable with how this car is going to handle in this temperature, I think we'll start to see some guys race, but it should be a pretty quiet one. Fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Absolutely, as the field works their way, they now will put the 2 cars a lap down. Newkirk and Foley go below the yellow line as Newkirk it goes, but Foley will stay up on the racing groove, letting by your leaders. That's going to hold up Jordan Durasic now. Here comes Sean Bounty as they try to negotiate around that lap car, and they're going to lose a ton of time, and they have to now go to the top side and go single file.
That's really going to break up this lead pack we had here, and that's pretty much, as you said, put everyone in a single file line, which I think that's what everyone wants to do, is just sit here and ride. I mean, you see that second pack back there, all of them being on the inside, and it's kind of the opposite for this lead pack, as they're all going to be on the outside. So it looks like we got a pretty even game of who wants to go first. You know, that old school game of chicken.
Absolutely, as they now get themselves situated onto their respective lines here around the circuit. Now the question is going to be how this will play out in the long run. Are drivers going to now see about setting themselves up as the run progresses? Well, that's going to be a find out here as they work their way through single file throughout the top field. As they come out, they're going to run up against the top side of the racetrack. Chase Albright is going to lead that second group on the inside lane as they try to close the gap. The 2 Toyotas working together. That's Ryan Zunk in the Monsters Beast machine with help from the 79 machine as they help down the back straightaway through the super stretch, hitting speeds over almost right at 200 miles an hour as they come through the middle of turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, so I'm doing some quick math here, and these 2 different packs, you know, of course the lead pack running the top here, and then that second pack running the bottom. This lead pack is 100% burning more fuel than that second pack. Not only because they're running the top line, because, you know, English here, you know, that's the longer way around the track here on that outside line. So they're not only going to be burning more fuel on that outside line, they're also running at a faster pace compared to that second pack. And now you see that second pack has moved up to the outside, and, you know, there's a little bit of shuffling around back there, maybe some more lines wanting to form there and more people wanting to go here, but based on what we were seeing, that this lead pack should be burning more fuel compared to that second pack.
Well, one driver who's trying to see if he can make some move, that's Matt Holmes in the number 5. He's trying to get around the 2 Truex brothers. So far, that's not working out for him. He's got no help really whatsoever other than the 88 of Oscar Henson, but he is still a couple of car lanes back from the 5 machine as they come through the tri-oval. I think everyone's just ready to just sit in place and not really push the envelope just yet. Maybe on that first round of pit stops that we'll see later on in the race, drivers may battle it out a little bit to get themselves in prime position for their pit stops. But for the most part, I think everybody's just going to sit there and hold their line.
Yeah, this is good. This is a pretty big game. Hurry up and wait. And I mean, it's like that for every plate race you see that's over, an A Open's length. Of course, an A Open being 70 laps long. Anything over that, it's just there's not really any reason to be pushing or to be aggressive. So, yeah, these guys are just kind of saying, let's not race, guys. Let's just log some laps here, get around the top, so log some laps, burn some fuel, and get a couple pit stops down, as I said earlier, and a few laps later into this race, then we can start racing. And I think that's gonna be a lot of what we see is just these guys not really wanting to do anything too stupid or too crazy here.
Of course, there is stage races in tonight's event. There is one at the end of lap 15, and then one at the end of lap 45. And we're about to hit that lap 15 mark here. We could see some drivers inside the top 10 try to get themselves situated to go get some stage points here, especially drivers like Matt Garrett to get around Tristan Bruce or Thomas Aaron to get around the leaders. And they're going to start doing that here as they come through across the start-finish line to start the final lap of stage number 1.
Oh, here goes the 78 to the bottom, and a lot of blocks here. The 93 going to be throwing a block here. Thomas Aaron goes around Matt Garrett. Matt Cherry is going to be left out to dry here. And that inside line's got all the momentum now as Justin Clapper, TJ DeBlasio are now pushing that inside line. Here comes the 25 machine now of Bo Condon to the help of that outside line.
And they are really starting to make a run here as the rest of the field to the inside. Sean Boundy will pick up a couple of spots as they head down the super stretch. Justin Clapper will lead with Jordan Jurassic giving him a push through the middle of turn 3 and 4. Who will collect the 10 bonus points in this stage as they come out of turn number 4? Clapper on the outside, Aaron on the inside, side by side as they come across the line here. And your winner of stage number 1 will go to Thomas Aaron, picking up the stage win.
12 1,000ths of a second there at the end of that stage, so not as close as what we saw at the end of Duel 1, that one being an almost dead even tie at 1/1000th of a second, but still a very, very close finish for a stage.
Well, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have your pit stops and your rundown of your Stage 1 finishing. You're watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated live on Grid Vision.
This is what you're waiting for. I think we're ready to rock.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. If your lawn sprinkler controller is more than 5 years old, give us a shout today. We'll come out and take a look, give you an evaluation, get you set up for a new Wi-Fi enabled smart controller. We can monitor this from our office for you. Give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look. Let's upgrade your controller. It'll save you water. We can save you up to about, we're averaging 47 to 51% with our clients. Feedback we're hearing from us. So give us a shout today. We'll glad to come out and take a peek. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to the Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated, as we are here to kick off the Daytona 250. Of course, that costume is brought to you by Connor's Cure, the official charity for 2024 as well, as the field will work their way behind Benny, the pace car driver, but already great run that we saw at the end of stage 1, Nick. Now we go till lap 45 for the second stage.
Yeah, a bit longer of a stage here, as we should be going green here, either on lap 19 or lap 20. So these guys are going to have a little bit more time to work with, but that also means these guys are going to have a little bit more time to figure out what kind of moves they want to make. Seeing as this first stage was so quick after the start of the race, no one really had time to make any moves. I mean, we didn't see any moves made until, the last lap there. So it was pretty much single file until then. Now these guys are going to have some time to kind of build those moves up, figure out what they want to do, and, go for that second stage, hopefully.
Absolutely, as they will work their way down out of turn at number 4. The big question is going to be, could we see some drivers at the tail end come down to top off their race cars with fuel? And just as I say that, our race leader, Ryan Truex, will come down pit road to top off with fuel as they come their way down towards the backs, or turns 1 and 2 through the tri-oval, along with the 19 of Matt Garrett, who will also, along with Tyler Truex and some other drivers that will come down pit road to top off with race fuel.
Yeah, what that's telling me is fuel may be a little bit tight here. Either that or those guys that did come down pit road want to sit at the back for a little bit and kind of avoid the chaos. So, could be either one of those two, but my bets are on the latter there.
Well, for the most part, I have to say, though, Nick, looking over this thing, the fuel settings is set at 100%. So it's pretty much you can run the full distance on a tank of fuel for a stint. And normally a stint at Daytona with the Cup cars, even if you're going flat out, is about 30 to about 35 laps, give or take. So you're looking at everyone making it to the end of the next stage. The final stage is where we're going to see those green flag pit stops come into play.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. You say 30 to 35, but the iRacing special event Daytona 500, which we broadcasted, I believe, the Friday night NIS top split, or second split, excuse me, for that one, those guys were hitting 45 to 48 laps. So I'm not too sure on the fuel window. It could be, we'll just go and put it between 30 and 50. Does that sound good?
That sounds good, I have to say. And but of course, you've got to think about it too. Those races will, of course, with this race, we'll probably see a lot of drivers fuel conserve as well during this segment of the race and the final segment once we get the green flag presented by Pine Golf as they come out of turn number 4. So here's your front row. Thomas Aaron, TJ de Blasi will lead them to the Pine Golf green flag, followed by Justin Clapper and Jordan Thoracic. Sean Bounty, Matt Cherry, Robert Colgan, Noah Rainwater, Ryan Zunk, and Lucas Whitehead, your top 10 drivers, as Benny the pace car driver makes the hard left turn down onto pit road. Barney the flagman will have the Pine Golf green flag in hand. They already see the drivers getting themselves psyched up, ready to go here for stage number 2, as Justin Clapper gets right on the back bumper of Aaron. Green flag is out. We're back racing here at Daytona for stage number 2.
Bit of a reverse of what we saw on the initial start there. That outside line got going a lot better than the inside did. That inside line's already falling off 2 or 3 car lengths here, so almost the exact opposite of that initial start. And we're already starting to see a similar thing here. People starting to fall back, form into a separate second pack here. So it looks like people are wanting to do the same strategy here.
Everyone's just trying to find their dancing partner, find where they feel the most comfortable here, as we see TJ de Blasi trying to get that inside lane going. He's got help from Sean Bounty, along with the 94 of Robert Colgan, as you ride on board with de Blasi as they come through the middle of the tri-oval, trying to see if they can catch themselves back up to the front of the field.
The way they're going, it's not going to happen, as they've already fallen off 5 cars from the lead. So, and that was only in that one lap there. So, looks like that inside line may be left for naught here unless they get some momentum going. And as I say that, they're starting to pull in a little bit, getting up towards the rear end of that third car in line on the outside, the 26th there. So, should be, yeah, that inside line's got a lot more help now than just the 3 cars.
How about the big push right there from Sean Boundy as they head down into turn 3 and 4? And you just saw TJ DeBlasi just rocket his way up a couple of positions up there. He's now to the 3rd car in lineup, Jordan Durasic. Meanwhile, a couple of other cars have joined the field. Anthony Burleson has joined in the 79. Andrew Olszewski is in the 12th spot on the inside line of the number 8, as well as the 49 machine also of Chase Albright. And the 46 of Todd Lee has joined that inside lane.
I tell you what, this second pack really hasn't fallen off too bad. They're just sitting on the edge of that lead draft right now, which is a pretty good strategy here at Daytona.
As we watch through the field here, there's your second group of cars right there. That's led by the 24 machine of Damian Neeson, one of your drivers who was on one of the bubble drivers during the dual races. He's got help right there from the Truex as they come out of turn 3 and 4. They're not too far behind, but you still got to be mindful of how things will play out for them as they try to stay within that right zone that they feel comfortable. One, where they can avoid the incidents that are coming up behind them, but also have enough room so that way the next group of cars that's behind them doesn't come and run them over.
Yeah, it's kind of that bubble zone that's really helpful here at a place like Daytona. So, that's kind of where I like sitting in these longer races, is in that bubble zone. So, got a good strategy going there. You always want to sit right on the edge of the draft. That way you have as much reaction time as possible here.
We saw Tommy Allen Jr. now as a race lead has switched up significantly. Sean Boundy now takes over the race lead after getting around TJ DeBlasi and in front of Thomas Aaron. A beautiful run right there for the Rebel Racing Machine as they come through the tri-oval. 24 laps on the board as we're approaching a quarter distance of tonight's racing action.
Here comes the 78 of TJ DeBlasi. He's got some pretty good help from the 94 of Robert Colgan in that blue Toyota Camry on the bottom. That inside line's coming in with a huge head of steam. The 74, I believe that's either the 74 or the 79 of Anthony Burleson as help on that inside line. And back to a stalemate, those 195-mile-an-hour pace laps.
195-mile chess moves happening here at Daytona as they work their way through the middle of turn 3 and 4. It's Boundy on the top side in his Toyota. DeBlasi in the 78 Toyota on the inside lane. 2x2, several rows deep. We now have a pack of over 20 cars jockeying around for that position of the race lead here as they come through the tri-oval, heading off into turn 1.
Yeah, this is the exact opposite of what we saw in that first stage. We really didn't see any fighting at all compared to what we're seeing right here. It's not quite a hornet's nest just yet, but one wrong move and it could become one, but still 2x2 here as these guys are working their way through lap 25. A little bit of jockeying around, looking for where that the push could come from. On the bottom, it's Robert Colgan trying to give that momentum, and on the top, it's the 93 of Thomas Aaron trying to give Sean Boundy that lead still. And, if this were later in the race, say lap 80 or lap 85, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sean Boundy blocking at all. But, it's a little bit too early to be blocking on lap 25.
It really is, and a lot of things can still happen here. You just got to be patient and try to find where you feel most comfortable. And for Sean Boundy, that outside line seems to be rolling. But if someone gets by him like TJ DeBlasi, we still got plenty of time. We're not even halfway to the end of the stage number 2 right now, so he's got plenty of opportunity to set himself up for a good finish and a good run.
Yeah, that's the thing with these draft races that a lot of people really don't understand is, you could be at the tail end of this draft, take a la Ryan Truex in that 56 Toyota. He's at the very end of this lead pack here, third from the back on the outside. You could just barely spot, or excuse me, not third from the back, but about 5th or 6th from the back on that outside line. You could just barely spot him right there. He's in the back of the pack right now, but if he really wanted to, I guarantee you could get a couple of guys, take it 3 wide, and get up to the front in a couple of laps. That's just how crazy the draft here at Daytona is.
Absolutely. As the field works their way through there, you saw the driver of Ryan Truex as we watch Sean Boundy, the San Fernando Valley, California native with Rebel Racing Toyota, leading the charge on that outside lane. There you see Truex jump to the bottom of the racetrack to try to get himself in a more like position that he prefers to be in as they rocket their way out of turn number 3 and 4. Drivers trying to get themselves situated. Bo Condon right there you see in the 25 RL Production Chevrolet having a good run, trying to see if he can work a little bit more towards the front of the field here.
Looks like Ryan Truex may have been listening when he said that I could, or when he heard that I said he could make any move he wanted at any time and get up towards the front, because that move right there gained him about 4 or 5 spots from where he was compared to where he is now. So I think he may be trying to set up here and get some momentum going on that bottom line and see if he can turn the dominant line into that bottom line that as compared to the outside right now.
You just were on board with the Baltimore and Maryland native Bo Condon for the D&Q Racing team, as there you see the 94 machine working his way through. That, of course, is the driver of Robert Colgan, who's been on a very good run right now for the driver from Indiana, Pennsylvania, part of the Mid-Pack Motorsports team, as he is pushing de Blasi in that number 78, the Maryland native for Mid-Pack Motorsports. So the two teammates working well together, along with another Mid-Pack Motorsports driver right behind him. That is Troutman, North Carolina's native Tony Burleson, who's right there in the mix.
Yeah, you got the teammates all lined up on the bottom, really controlling that inside line. And you know, if this were Stuart Haas racing in 2018, you would see both those lead cars of TJ de Blasi and Robert Colgan trying to get up in front of both lines and trying to control the race here, as they're already starting to see some side drafting here from both TJ de Blasi and Robert Colgan. So a bit of some hairy moves starting to take place here as we're coming up towards 15 laps to go here in stage number 2.
Yeah, it was a close call for Grand Prairie, Texas' very own Thomas Aaron in the UNT Chevrolet. He had a good run, but then, of course, had some issues where that side drafting had to give him a little bit of chance to check up. But he is still back in the hunt as he's got help from Clapper and Jurassic as they go 2 by 2 through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Out they go down the Daytona super stretch. It's a drag race as de Blasi has just the nose over Sean Bounty, but Bounty will retake it as they head into turn 3.
Yeah, here comes the run from the inside, though. That inside line always starts to get the run as they head into turn 3, and they carry that momentum through turns 3 and 4. But here comes the outside once again as they get that momentum here off of the corner. Sean Bounty looks like he's going to lead this lap here, going to start working lap number 31. But I think they're going to give this lap to TJ de Blasi.
Keeping an eye as de Blasi will lead that lap, but here comes Bounty with a big push here as he works his way through the middle of turn 1 and 2, but de Blasi with his help from his teammate Robert Colgan, they'll rocket past the race leader. The inside lane now has the advantage as they come off of turn 2 down the Daytona super stretch. Drivers getting a little bit squirrely off turn 2, and now as we say that, Truex try to go to the middle, no help whatsoever. He'll duck back down to the bottom.
Yeah, what that just told Ryan Truex is there's not really any help wanting to make it 3 wide right now, but that did show a lot of people in that mid-pack that there is interest for wanting to make a third line and wanting to get up to the front of the pack. So come 5 or 10 laps from now, don't be surprised if Ryan Truex peeks out and has a little bit more help with them.
But the question is, though, Nick, you know, yes, going 3 wide can be beneficial for him to go get stage points. But when it comes to racing here at Daytona, yes, getting those points is critical, but if you're wanting to get a win and you're in type scenario, would it be better just to hold on, get to the end, and then see about trying to make that third lane? Because more people would be apt to go with you towards the end of the race compared to maybe towards the end of the stage.
Well, I mean, you take a look at the position Ryan Truex is in. He's a defending champion of this series, so he knows he has the pace to win at other tracks. So I think his kind of mentality here, of course, this could just be spitballing here, and this isn't his mentality at all. But what I think he's trying to do is he's trying to be aggressive. He's trying to make those moves because he knows he has the pace to win at other tracks. And I think he's out here for fun right now, seeing as it is the first race of a very long season here. So, I mean, that could be totally wrong, as I mentioned earlier, but we'll have to see how this race is going to play out. But it would surprise me if he wants to make a third line. Because, I mean, if he wants to make a third line, he can, well and truly. I mean, we're already starting to see it here for just a moment.
As we see, there you go. There's 3 wide as we see the 69 machine of Tyler Truex get a good run. And, of course, if you have a fan favorite driver in this race, we will tell you and point them out and give them a shout-out as you do so in the chat. We just saw one give a shout-out to the number 8 of Andrew Olazolewski, who is in the number 8 spot and car number 8. We also saw a couple of other people pointing out for Uncle Tristan Bruce. He's currently sitting 30th right now, so keep it up. And yes, it is a sold-out crowd here tonight. We're happy to have you with us here on Grid Vision as we watch the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated, the Daytona 250, as they work their way through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Out of turn 2, though, there you see a big run by Sean Bounty to lead the charge on the outside lane as drivers try to jockey around for position, try to get in the back bumper and push their competitors down the Daytona Superstretch before they head into turn number 3.
Yeah, I tell you what, this inside line is getting frustrated here. TJ DeBlasi and Robert Colgan are doing everything they can, but their teammate behind them, the 79 of Anthony Burleson, really not giving them the help that outside line has. I mean, you see that inside line trying to side draft, trying to pull that outside line back, but they're just a lot more organized and they have a lot more help than that inside line does. So it's kind of an exercise in futility here for that inside line, as they're not really able to do anything right now compared to what that outside line's able to do.
Absolutely, as we keep an eye on the competitors here around the circuit, as we ride on board with Anthony Burleson as he's trying to see if he can help his teammate, but so far it's not working out as the 05 Noah Rainwater is now getting into the picture here as we ride on board through the middle of turn 3 and 4. There you see Matt Cherry, one of your dual race winners from last week at Daytona. And so far, everyone tries to get themselves situated, but no one's really making a run to the front right now on that inside lane.
Yeah, like I said, that inside line just really doesn't seem to have that momentum needed to get that momentum that they need. But you know, one thing I wanted to bring up is you mentioned the dual winner of Matt Cherry sitting up there in 7th position. Didn't I tell you that track position really doesn't mean anything at the start here? Because you take a look at some of the people of the rest of our top 10. Andrew Olazeski, 28th, started 28th. He's sitting in 10th right now. I mean, you take a look right behind him. Lucas Whitehead started 22nd. He's sitting in 11th now. Look down at Bobby Grant in the 14 machine. He started 32nd in this race. He's sitting in 15th position. So that draft, it is a game changer here at a place like Daytona. And that just more than proves that track position at the start of this race really does not mean much.
It really does, and you could be just about anywhere here around this track, and you can still be in contention for a win at Daytona. As long as you're in that lead draft, you're guaranteed a spot to have a shot of winning here, so you have to see how this will all play out here as we see Todd lead in the 46 machine. There's your pole sitter, Jordan Dorasic, trying to get the outside lane going with help from...
Oh, call on the wall off of 2.
Ooh, who was that? Was that Todd Lee in the 46?
I think it may have been. It was a Monster Energy sponsored car. I didn't catch who it was, but they were in the wall off of turn number 2.
Looks like they gather themselves back up and will continue on racing, but still a close call for the whole field of drivers as they get themselves situated.
Oh, we have had a change for the lead up front as TJ DeBlasi now leading that outside line in front of Sean Bounty. Looks like he got sick of that inside line, not being able to do anything. He got back up there. Now he's leading that outside line. Got his teammate in Robert Colgan on the inside being pushed by the 79 of Anthony Burleson now on that inside.
Field now works their way out through the middle of turns 2 as they come down across the Daytona Superstretch. But for the driver of TJ DeBlasi, he is pretty comfortable right now after getting the race lead. He left his 2 teammates there on the bottom, which is beneficial if you think about it. If you have a 3-car team or a 4-car team, you get yourself set up, you can then start controlling both lanes because your teammate will try to work with you on the inside lane as you hold on to the outside lane unless that car behind you decides, I'm going to form a 3rd lane and hope for the best.
You know, that was that 2018 Stuart Haas is already, we're starting to see it here. Sean Bounty to the outside of the 78 of TJ DeBlasi. Now things starting to kick off here as now the 93 of Thomas Aaron going with TJ DeBlasi for a moment as DeBlasi now aggressively side drafting the 35 of Sean Bounty. Things getting a little bit sketchy here. Bit of a risky push from Thomas Aaron. Things kicking off in this lead pack.
You got to be careful with that run there as we now see Sean Bounty pushing TJ DeBlasi down the Daytona Superstretch, but that could have been the big one right there if they weren't careful enough. Now will Sean Bounty drop to the bottom of the racetrack or stay tucked up behind TJ DeBlasi as they come out of turn number 4? There you see Colgan holding the inside lane with Burleson helping him out. There you see Thomas Aaron. He's thinking about maybe tucking down to the inside to take over the race lead.
I tell you what, that's just the epitome of Daytona right there. You saw things kick off 3-4 wide for just a moment, and just like in the snap of a finger, back to double file, and everyone's starting to calm down a little bit. That's Daytona for you. You can be from completely calm to absolutely crazy, back to completely calm in the same lap, and that is exactly what we just saw.
5 laps to go here in stage number 2, and now we'll see the inside lane really start to show their speed here to go and challenge for the race lead. So far, not going to work as Colgan leads that inside lane. De Blasi holding strong. Will we see Aaron or Bounty drop down to the bottom of the racetrack before the end of stage? We're going to find out as they rocket their way through the tri-oval. 4 laps to go in stage 2.
So already starting to see Ryan Truex further back in the pack, building up a run, maybe thinking about starting a third line in the middle there. He was building up a run, and it looks like he's peeking towards the middle. He's got his brother Tyler Truex right behind him. Will we see a third line formed here coming into the end of stage 2?
Well, we're going to see the two cousins work together a little bit here as the race progresses, but you're on board here with Ryan Truex and that number 56 TRD Toyota Camry XSE. There you see Tyler Truex right behind him with help from Chase Leahy and a couple of other drivers as they work their way through the middle of turn 3 and 4. There you see Justin Clapper in the 63 trying to get himself situated. Will he go down to the bottom? So far, will not work out here.
That inside line starting to fall off a little bit here. Robert Colgan going up to try and side draft a little bit. It does help for the moment, but no momentum for that inside line as, we got a couple people dipping down here. The 05 of Rainwater going to be dipping down here in front of him. That's the 45 of Matt Cherry, your dual number 2 winner, I believe. Either dual 1 or dual number 2, but that inside line's got a few more numbers, and they're going to go up to side draft now.
The two drivers from D&Q Racing, the Scottsville, Kentucky driver and the Lincolnton, North Carolina driver of Matt Cherry and Noah Rainwater now going to go and challenge for the race lead as they come through the middle of turn 3 and 4. You're on board with Rainwater in the number 05 machine as he will give a big push, possibly right here to the back bumper of Cherry, but they have a lot of work to do. Not a lot of time left here in stage number 2.
Here comes that inside line with a pretty good shot of momentum here. Will we see anyone come down to challenge for that lead? Right now, it's sitting at Jordan Durasic, where that inside line is even with. He's not going to dip down. Will we see possibly Justin Clapper in that 63 machine dip down for a moment? But no, that inside line stays as it is, and not really any momentum here. Here goes Jordan Durasic now. He's making the move for the lead.
Here they come down through the middle of turn 3 and 4. Jordan Durasic really gets a good push from Matt Cherry. Will Aaron or Bounty drop down to the bottom, or will De Blasi start throwing the block? We thank you all who are tuning in, subscribed here, and follow more action here on Grid Vision. 2 laps to go here in stage number 2.
2 laps to go, as you mentioned. TJ De Blasi not really thinking about throwing any blocks here. Here comes Jordan Durasic in that 6 machine with Matt Cherry as Matt Cherry peeks up for just a moment, but he's going to stay connected to the 6 of Durasic. De Blasi now the only line of defense for that outside line to keep the lead here. Lap car going to get down on the apron and get out of the way of this absolute hornet's nest coming his way.
I would hate to be a lap car and seeing this hornet's nest approaching you at over 200 miles an hour as you ride on board with Durasic. What will the lap car do? It's going to be a little bit tricky here. He's going to have to find the opening, split the gap, and go in the middle as they put the number 4 machine of Daniel Lyle a lap down.
Here comes that inside line as white flag for stage 3. Stage 2, and we're already starting to see the move. Justin Clapper, Thomas Aaron making the move. TJ De Blasi going to go down the block. Sean Bounty now has no help. He's going to have the 33 and Lucas Whitehead for help. Here comes Justin Clapper back up top, and there goes Thomas Aaron in the 93. Things are starting to kick off. De Blasi throws a block. Here comes that inside line with another big shot of momentum here. Things starting to get all kinds of crazy on that outside line.
Chaos ensuing here in the final laps of stage number 2 as they work their way down the Daytona Superstretch. Ruthless Racing, Jordan Durasic trying to lead the charge. Mid-Pack Motorsports on the outside of TJ De Blasi. As here comes Thomas Aaron. Will he try to slingshot past? Big run right here as they head to the green and white checkered flag of ending stage 2. Thomas Aaron to the inside will try to get around, but will not, as TJ De Blasi will get the win as they're wrecking behind.
Oh, man. I think they all straightened it out. It was the 14 machine of Bobby Grant, I believe, sideways in front of the field, and they somehow all managed to avoid him.
How about the great heads-up driving from every single one here as they get themselves situated and will rejoin the track, but so far no one has significant damage here, as we'll take a look at the instant replay. And we're going to look a little further back. There's the contact right there
Oh.
around Todd Lead, and as well as the 94 machine of Robert Colgan involved in that one. And of course, the 14 machine, of course, was able to avoid some of that.
Amazing heads-up driving, as you mentioned there. Everyone was able to miss that car spinning in front of the field. Wow.
Absolutely wow indeed.
Another look at it here. Is this all started up here? This is Robert Colgan, Anthony Burleson.
Right there.
Yeah, I still don't understand how they all managed to save that. That is insane.
Absolutely great checkup, great heads-up driving by everyone here. But I have to say, Robert Colgan and Todd Lead will have some damage to fix when they come down pit road. But that's the conclusion of stage number 2. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll bring you more action here at Daytona for the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated.
This is what you're waiting for. I think we're ready to rock.
In a distant kingdom, in a magical realm, there lived people who faced dreadful drainage problems on their lawns. For many years, they suffered from puddles and mud in their yards. Until one day, the saviors from TLC Company appeared with their magical shovels and lifted the wet curse from the kingdom's residents. Forget about puddles and mud. With us, your yard will become a genuine fairy tale nook. Call us right now, and let's transform your drainage concerns into a magical adventure. TLC, where every home becomes a fairy tale.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. You got a outdoor lighting, landscape lighting system. Maybe we installed it. Maybe it was there you inherited in your house and you want to upgrade it. Now's the time to give us a shout. We'll come out, take a look, evaluate what you do have, tell you what you could have. Give us a shout today for all your outdoor lighting needs. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, Bob Carr with TLC. Spring's upon us. If you got a wet yard, it's not going to get any better. Now it's time to give us a call. Let us come out and take a look at your drainage problem in your property. We can get you a solution. The dogs, the kids, be tracking in mud. Mom will be mad. So give us a call. Give us a shout today. Talk to you soon.
TLC is the best in lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, holiday lighting, yard drainage, and more. Let us take care of your project. Get your free, no obligation estimate from TLC today.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
And thank you very much, Bob, for giving us those amazing updates and information. Make sure to go check out TLC Incorporated for more information. But of course, tonight we're here to watch the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC as they work their way around. Of course, the caution break was brought to you by none other than Connor's Cure. To go learn more information, actually, reach out to Justin Clapper as he's got a lot of great information regarding the Connor's Cure. As it's a great charity organization, help benefiting a lot of good things. So keep an eye on that number 63 machine as Sean Boundy will lead them to the green flag when we go back racing.
Yeah, Sean Boundy really able to get off of pit road in a perfect manner there. TJ DeBlasi, your stage 2 winner, unfortunately, I believe had a bit of a slower stop. I think he may have just barely overshot his box there. So unfortunately for TJ DeBlasi, he's going to be restarting in 5th position on this restart.
Seems to be the case here. We'll give you a quick rundown of your top 10 as it's Sean Boundy and Thomas Aaron in row number 1. Then it's Lucas Whitehead and Jordan Durasic in row 2. Row number 3, we'll see TJ DeBlasi and Matt Cherry, followed by row number 4 of Justin Clapper and Noah Rainwater. And how about Bo Condon? He's in 9th along with Anthony Burleson, who will round out your top 10.
Yeah, we should start to see some green flag pit stops making their way into this race. If those first 2 stages are anything like or any indication of what we could see in this 3rd stage, I do think we will see some green flag pit stops here. I guess would be probably around lap 80, but I mean I've seen many different things this week or so at Daytona.
Absolutely. We'll see how this plays out here as they get themselves set up. It's going to be a 50-lap run to the finish. So just right on the cusp of a fuel run for the most part if everyone saves fuel. But knowing that, we should expect one green flag pit stop here in the final stage.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun third stage here, especially if it was like that second stage with absolute craziness all throughout. So should be a pretty fun one here, I do think.
I have to agree with you 100% on this here as they get themselves situated. Of course, they work their way out of turn number 4. Benny, the pace car driver, will make the hard left turn down on pit road. Barney, the flag man, will have, of course, the Pine Golf green flag in hand as we go back racing here at Daytona. Green flag is out, and already Sean Bounty, with help from Jordan Jurassic, will get a big push to take over the race lead.
Yeah, that inside line falling off once again like we saw in stage 2. Only 3 cars on that inside line for a very long while as here comes Thomas Aaron with a pretty good shot from Matt Cherry not Matt Cherry, is the 77 there. All right. Is that the 77? No, that's I think that's Anthony Burleson on that inside line. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, good, as we now see the outside lane starting to form up and get themselves running here as the inside lane is all but evaporated except for Thomas Aaron and Lucas Whitehead.
Oh, that was Lucas Whitehead. I was getting the 33 confused with the 79 there for a moment. Apologies about that, but that outside line really starting to build up some momentum as wow. There was Thomas Aaron with an aggressive move up to the top line.
I mean, he just absolutely saw a hole and then just said, I'm going for it, and made it work. Didn't almost nearly chop the nose off the 63 of Justin Glapper right there, but he was able to keep on racing as everyone goes single file except for a couple of cars on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like mostly everyone just wanting to log some laps and possibly get closer to this green flag pit stops that we should be seeing here tonight. So looks like everyone's going to try and log those laps and try to get a little bit closer to that lap 100 mark.
Absolutely, as the field works their way through here at Daytona. Already caution is out.
Interesting. Wonder what this caution was about. Oh, Robert Colgan.
Robert Colgan, I see involved. I also see Tommy Allen Jr. getting through it. I see Reed Foley slowing down and having some issues. So we'll take a look here at the instant replay. There's Robert Colgan. Oh, right there. Pretty wide and contact and hard into the outside.
Nowhere for Robert Colgan to go. He had no part in that and fortunately ends up in the outside wall with a blown engine for that 94 machine.
Kind of similar to what we saw during the Daytona 500 where, Brad Keselowski was giving a little bit of a push and then there was contact and it collected some unsuspecting drivers right there in that incident. So tough break for one of your front runners at one point of the race, Robert Colgan, in that outlier setup shop Toyota Camry.
Yeah, unfortunate end of the night for that 94 machine. Just a rough way to end the first race of the season. But then again, it's a long season. You got a lot more races to go. So we should see Robert Colgan be able to bounce back from this one.
We should, and still a lot of racing left to go here in 2024 as the caution is out for the first official time under non-stage racing events here as they will work their way through. A couple of cars thinking about coming down pit road. So far, this will not be the case as everyone continues on their way. Of course, this is the first race. The next race will be, of course, next Wednesday night at the Kansas Speedway. Of course, this will be a little bit different. We're going to be utilizing multiple different styles of cars throughout this race. This is, of course, the first time we utilize the next-gen car. The Xfinity cars will be the first time they'll be used in the season at Kansas. Then we'll go back to the next gens at Darlington before utilizing the trucks and Xfinity cars at COTA, Phoenix, and Michigan. And then we'll head to Texas Motor Speedway in April utilizing the NASCAR Gen 4 cars.
Wait a minute. You said trucks and Xfinity at Coda, so I'm assuming that's going to be a multi-class race?
No. It's trucks at Coda, then it's Xfinity at Phoenix, trucks at Michigan.
Oh, okay. You had me confused thinking we're going to have multi-class and an oval, and I was starting to get real excited for a moment.
I mean, it's been done before in certain series where they utilize multi-class oval racing before.
I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. That actually sounds really, really cool. Having all three series at an oval track. I mean, of course, you really wouldn't be able to do a plate track because that would just end a disaster. But I mean, imagine all three series at something like Michigan. That would be a blast.
It would be exciting to watch, but you'll catch some of the action here on Grid Vision as we have more race this week, I believe, looking over our schedule, and that will be the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split at Las Vegas Motor Speedway to kick off the third round of the NASCAR iRacing series. A lot of great racing happening all across as we take a look and see our full schedule going into the week. Of course, we had the Monday Night Top Split with Las Vegas with the B and the A cars. Last night we had the Champions Power Equipment Truck Series as well as the Stars Championship Series, both at Las Vegas and Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, if you're interested in wanting to partner with us here on Grid Vision, we have openings throughout several different nights. So if you want to become a part, make sure to visit us on all our social media platforms and reach out to us to see if what would be the best night for your racing league to join the Grid Vision family. Same thing with opportunities and openings for producers and broadcasters. If you want to begin your broadcasting career, then check us out on Grid Vision, send us a resume, and we'll be glad to have you join the Grid Vision team.
Sitting here at 1 to go for another restart here, and I mean, I wonder if that quick caution could be an indication of what's to come. You know what Larry Mack always used to say is cautions breed cautions. Well, we'll have to see if that is true here in this race. I mean, we had a very quick caution after the stage 2 caution there, so who knows? I mean, could be in for an interesting restart here.
We certainly could be indeed there, Nick, as the field will get themselves situated, ready to go racing. As we look through to keep an eye on this. Looking through the field of drivers that we have here, and going to be watching to see who's going to have what it takes to come home with the win. So far, our picks are doing pretty good tonight, I have to say.
Yeah, both the guys in the Truex camp are doing pretty well. I believe, looking for both of them here. Tyler Truex sitting down in 27th. He's been up front a couple of times tonight. And of course, his cousin Ryan Truex sitting down in 34th after another fuel stop there under that caution. So, of course, we've seen that 56 up front as well. So both cars looking to do pretty good here. And of course, Darby's pick leading the race right now. Of course, he's already making fun of me, and I haven't even started talking yet. So, C-tier commentator, or excuse me, C-tier producer. How about that, Darby?
Well, green flag here presented by Pine Gulf as they work their way up to speed here, and everyone's already trying to jockey around for position. Sean Boundy leading the charge as they come down into turns 1 and 2. You're already seeing drivers already go to the top side of the racetrack. There you see Thomas Aaron, one of your rookie competitors, one of many rookie drivers. I'm counting through, looking through the field right now, and it's over 8 drivers so far. So we're looking at about 10 rookies competing in this year. Everyone now going to go single file up towards the top side of the racetrack and just start logging laps here at Daytona. There you see them coming, rocketing off turn number 4. It's about 15 to 20 cars on the outside lane, 3 cars on the bottom of the racetrack, and really got a lot of work to go catch up to the race leaders.
Yeah, that inside line not really going to be doing much here, I do not think. I mean, you only got, as you said, you only got 3 cars on that bottom compared to 20 on the outside. So I just don't think this inside line is going to get very far unless they get some more help here. And I mean, look at that. They're starting to get some more help here. 5, 6 cars on that inside line now. Oh, man, what's going on in that second pack back there? Got a little bit of craziness going on back here.
Absolutely. Everyone's trying to get themselves situated, jockey around for positions a little further back as it's chaos in that hornet's nest.
Yeah, hornet's nest is the right word here as things are absolutely kicking off. Looks like now that we're starting to look at it, things are starting to calm down a little bit. So I think that was everyone just trying to find a line and settle down, and looks like they are doing just that.
Seems to be the case here as they work their way down, as Lucas Whitehead is trying to get that inside lane going, and they are really now making the pace up quickly on your race leader. Of course, as they work their way through the middle of turns 1 and 2, they're going to go side by side with your race leader, Sean Bounty, as they head down the Daytona Super Stretch.
Lucas Whitehead getting an amazing push there from the car behind him. That's the 46 machine of, I believe that is Todd Lee. In that 46, giving him, like I said, an amazing push and keeping that inside line going. Of course, Sean Bounty sticking with the 6 of Jordan Jurassic on that outside line. So not really going to see any crazy moves from the 35 of Sean Bounty, but things are starting to heat up for that lead.
How about Austin Whitehead giving a big attaboy to Lucas Whitehead, who's up there at the front of the field right now, trying to go for the race lead here tonight as they come through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Great run, but Lucas still stuck on that inside lane. He's got help from Todd Lee as they come down the Daytona Super Stretch.
Yeah, that inside line starting to die off a little bit. They've lost some of their help, only down to 5 cars on the inside line compared to about 10 on the outside. So starting to lose a little bit of help, but that's not really stopping them as they're still starting to build that momentum up just a little bit, just about even with the 93 of Thomas Aaron.
They are about even, but so far they need a little bit of help there. You are right on board, I believe, with the 46 of Todd Lee right now.
Todd Lee being the pusher here, main guy generating momentum for that inside line. Really hasn't been connected for about a lap or so to the 33 of Lucas Whitehead there. So that inside line not really getting any positions here, and doesn't look like anyone's going to come down and help him either.
Todd did seem pretty comfortable, I have to say, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good position there. Oh, there goes TJ DeBlasi to the inside. Now he's got the help of Thomas Aaron. There goes Daytona again, kicking off almost immediately after we say it's nice and comfortable.
Yeah, as soon as we say that, they decide to switch it up a little bit and throw in some chaos as they go their way through the middle of the tri-oval. Thomas Aaron, he wants to try to lead here at Daytona for the rookie, based in Texas, as they work their way down through the short chute to turn 1 and 2.
Again, got to thank Thomas Aaron for Coach Grant McCaslin for coming over to Texas Tech and giving us a pretty good basketball team. Of course, he's going for the lead here at Daytona on that inside line now, just about even with, I believe it's the 45 of Matt Cherry on that outside line. They're about even with, but outside line getting an amazing run there. A ton of time lost for that inside line.
It seems to be the case, but that inside line is running out of options here. They got to get themselves a little more organized if they want to have a shot of the race leader right now. But for Sean Bounty, they're being very patient, not pushing the envelope, and just working very well together.
Yeah, that outside line is definitely a lot more connected and a lot more organized than that inside line is. Of course, that inside line only having the 5 cars, but you know, they're only really pushing with the first 2, and now a 6th car is going to join the ranks of that inside line. And you know, right as I say it too, that inside line gets an amazing run here, almost even with Jordan Jurassic, and they're going to get even with Sean Bounty here, and they're going to take the lead into turn 3.
They are going to take the lead, and new race leader Thomas Aaron will lead the charge on the bottom of the racetrack and lead Daytona. The big wobble right there for TJ DeBlasi from Lucas Whitehead. He's got to be careful with that.
Yeah, a bit of a risky push there. There goes Thomas Aaron to the top. He's going to be pushed by the 35 of Sean Bounty now. Here comes TJ DeBlasi with a big push from Lucas Whitehead. But it's still going to be Thomas Aaron leading that lap. TJ DeBlasi now going to be taking the lead here into turn 1. Bit of an even kind of stalemate here in this lead pack. Not really able to build any momentum for either line as both of them are almost dead even.
You got 2 rookies leading the charge on the front row right now as DeBlasi is now stuck in the middle. This is going to be detrimental for him.
Oh, here we got 3 wide back here. Looks like a little bit of help here. Nicholas Rainwater thought about going 3 wide to help his teammate TJ DeBlasi.
He is going to try his best here, and so far, it's not going to work out as they go 2 wide. Todd Lead will lead the first lap of the night for him as they come out of turn number 4, and he's going to try to start throwing blocks.
starting to try and control the lines, pulling the Brad Keselowski, really trying to control this race from that front spot, but it's not really going to work as now Lucas Whitehead going to be leading that outside line, leading his first time tonight, as now he's got about a car length lead over the 46 of Todd Lee, and this entire lead pack has been shuffled. These are cars we haven't seen up front at all tonight.
Absolutely. Things have changed during this stage of the race as Lucas Whitehead in that number 33 leads the charge at Daytona.
Here comes Thomas Aaron trying to give him another good push here through turns 3 and 4. He's got Sean Bounty for help behind, and that inside line with Todd Lee starting to fall off a little bit. He's got the 8 car of Andrew Olszewski for help behind him, and it's not really going too well as they're starting to lose more and more time here.
Seems like it's not going to work out for them as they try to get themselves organized for a run to the front of the field right now. Big issues here as they try to get themselves situated on the inside lane as TJ DeBlasi, the rookie, dives to the bottom.
We've seen that move more than once from the 78 of TJ DeBlasi as he's trying to build any momentum that he can up here. And here goes Lucas Whitehead as Thomas Aaron almost leaves him out to dry.
How about that block right there? That was crazy and sketchy, I have to say so.
Yeah, that's a very sketchy move for Daytona on lap 64 of a lap 100 race, but looks like it's going to work out for the 93 of Thomas Aaron here, but Lucas Whitehead's still going to lead that lap.
Absolutely. Keep an eye on the drivers as they try to work their way around the circuit here. It's going to be a tight one as they come through the middle of the triangle, or through the middle of turn 1 and 2, side by side for the race lead. It's 2 Chevrolets and then 2 Toyotas, followed by 2 more Chevrolets.
Yeah, of course, we remember back to last week, I believe we only have 4 Fords taking part in this series, or excuse me, in this race. So, yeah, not really much Ford support here, as of course you see 2 of them there in the top 20. The rest of it's Chevrolet and Toyota.
Yeah, everyone's trying to get themselves organized here as we are closing in on under 40 laps to go in the race. Close racing action here on Grid Vision as they work their way through the triangle across the line. Lucas Whitehead leads the charge once again.
Here comes that inside line, though, with another good run here. Getting even with the 6 of Jordan Durasic. Now up to the rear end of the 35 of Sean Bounty. Are we going to see Lucas Whitehead throw any blocks? No, we are not, as now the lines are even once again. That's how quickly momentum can change here at Daytona. You can go from being 4 or 5 cars back, and we've seen it multiple times. You could be that far back, and you'll be up at the lead in no time.
Absolutely, and everyone's now just trying to get themselves situated. They'll go around the lap car of Robert Colgan, who stays below the O-line. Smart move for him. But it's 2 rookies who lead the field here tonight as Aaron goes to the top side of the racetrack and will hold off the block on the outside.
Yeah, but here comes that inside line. Once again, TJ DeBlasi getting a huge run here, and I believe he's going to lead that lap, too. Actually, no, it was at exactly 1/100th of a second for TJ DeBlasi between him and Thomas Aaron.
Yeah, and with that, while we see the great side-by-side racing action, we're going to go side-by-side, but don't worry, we're going to bring you more crazy action here at Daytona. You're watching the iRacing, Thunderclap iRacing Series, brought to you by TLC Incorporated, live on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. You haven't missed any of the action as TJ de Blasi and his 78 Toyota, the rookie driver, along with Thomas Aaron, another rookie, jockey around and battle for the race lead. They got help from Lucas Whitehead as it's now a 3-car breakaway from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, it's a pretty good breakaway here. As you mentioned, a couple of rookies leading the field here. Not really something we're used to saying when it comes to races like this, is you really don't see that many rookies in leagues anymore. So good to see the youngins, as they like to call them, leading the pack here.
And these are definitely going to be some future superstars for this series as they work their way through the middle of turn 1 and 2, jockeying around some lap traffic as they push one car below the yellow line. That is the 28 machine of Tommy Allen Jr. As we have 3 cars, 1 or more laps down. Robert Colgan still on the track, 15 laps down from your race leader.
Yeah, of course, Robert Colgan getting involved in that wreck on, I believe it was lap 54. So unfortunate end of the night, but it looks like he's still out there trying to get laps and trying to get experience in that 94 machine. So yeah, like I said, bit of an unfortunate end to his race, but I mean, good on him for staying out there trying to get those laps in.
Absolutely. We're watching the action here as they continue on their way through in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Everyone now going to go single file for the most part. The 46 machine of Todd Lee's trying to get that inside lane going, but so far that's not going to happen for him right now.
Yeah, it looks like single filing out here, so I think people are either A, getting ready for pit stops, or B, just trying to calm it down after that craziness we saw before the break. So, I mean, you'd think everyone would start moving down to that bottom, but everyone's starting to move up to the top.
Yeah, it seems like the case here as they try to get themselves situated. Now the 69 machine of Tyler Truex and Bo Condon jump down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Trying to make some moves there. Bo Condon now leading that inside charge. Just have to see if he's able to get anything going, but these guys are coming up on another lap car. I believe that is, can't quite catch
Lyle.
it. I think that's the
Daniel
4
Lyle.
car.
Yeah, it's Daniel
Lyle in that 4 car, so he's going to be going another lap down here. Maybe going to try to blend into the pack here, possibly.
Well, we'll see what he can do. That blank number four Ford Mustang, as he's trying to work his way through and get in a proper position without causing too much issues. And so far, everyone gets around him nice and clean.
Yeah, he's going to stick it down on that apron, try to get out of everyone's way, maybe try to pick up on the end of this lead pack here. And he should be able to with how big the lead pack is. The first time they lapped him, he wasn't able to pick up at all because of how small the lead pack was. But then again, that was in stage 1. So yeah, it looks like he was able to hook on to the edge of this lead draft here in this 195-mile-an-hour train. Oh, big wreck here. Oh, I think they saved it. Nope, no, they didn't.
No, they did not. Caution is out with 25 laps to go in the race as the big one happens here at Daytona.
was a 19 machine that ended up getting turned. They had it saved until the 19 of Matt Garrett got turned by someone heading into turn 3 from what it looked like. Oh, a lot of damage there on the car in front. Is that the 45? No, that's not. That's a different car there.
We'll get a look here at the replay to see what really happened. And I have to keep an eye on that checkup right there. Bo Condon and the 8 machine, as well of Olezeski, and then the just accordion effect where it caused this big issue right behind.
Yeah, this all started up front, though. I believe it was the 63 of Justin Clapper almost got turned going into turn 3, and I think that's what caused that accordion effect, and eventually that wreck in turn 3.
Break right there for multiple drivers. We'll see what the damage situation will be for them when they come down pit road, but I have to say they are working their way around, and we'll have to get a lot of work fixed. As Justin Clapper also involved in this one.
What a good save there. I mean, it was a bit of a late move from the 63, but good job handling that absolute shot from the 8 of Olezeski. So as we're going to see everybody come down pit road here and probably get 4 tires and fuel here since it is under caution, and that should eliminate the need for that green flag stop we were talking about earlier. So it looks like it's going to be 4 tires and fuel. Actually, no. Looks like a lot of people are just taking fuel. A couple people taking right side tires, a couple of left side tires I saw pop up. Bit of differing strategy here between all the drivers, but they'll all end up in relatively the same order here. So I believe it's going to be Thomas Aaron in that number 93 UNT machine. Going to be retaining the lead here. Behind him, it's going to be the 78 of TJ DeBlasi with Jordan Durasic, Lucas Whitehead, and Sean Boundy rounding out your top 5.
It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out here. We're just closing in on under 25 laps to go in this race, as we should get one driver his lap back. That'll be Gregory Shepsis, who's going to be getting on the lead lap once again. Daniel Lyle going to see if he can get the wave around to rejoin and get one of his 2 laps back.
Of course, it is very, very hard to come back from multiple laps down here. Daniel Lyle being 3 laps down right now in that 37th position, so he will be 2 laps down should he get the wave, which it does look like he will. So it'll be very tough to come back from 3 laps down, but wasn't it Kyle Busch that came back once from like 8 or 9 laps down at a race at Bristol and managed to win the race?
That I don't know for sure.
I want to say it was a truck race that he came back from that far back. I don't think he won it, but I think he did pretty good in it.
Well, I gotta say that's pretty exciting for him to try to pull that off. So we'll see what he can do here tonight. Or not Kyle Busch, but let's see what these drivers who are 1 or more laps down can do before the end of the race. Of course, as you said, cautions do breed cautions. So something could possibly happen where some of these drivers who are 1 or more laps down could get one of their laps back and try to get back on the lead lap.
1 to green here. Lights on the pace car are out. And again, it's going to be Thomas Aaron leading the green with TJ DeBlasi sitting up on the lead of that outside line. Jordan Durasic going to be sitting in 3rd, and Lucas Whitehead and Sean Boundy running out the top 5, as I mentioned earlier. You still sticking with your pick?
Yeah, I'm still sticking with my pick. He's sitting inside the top 10 right now. How about you? Are you still sticking with your pick?
Yes, sir. I'm still sticking with Ryan Truex. Of course, that 56 machine sitting in the 19th position right now. But, you know, I mean, there's a few people in the top 5 right now that started outside of the top 20. Of course, Lucas Whitehead started 22nd tonight. He's sitting in 4th position. And Reed Foley started 35th tonight. And he's in 8th. So definitely is possible from 19th position.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye on this here as they work their way down the Daytona Superstretch and get ready to go back racing here at Daytona. Going to be interesting to see how this will play out. It will be 21 laps to go in the race for your drivers here.
Yeah, I think this is where we're really going to start to see things kick off for these guys. I mean, of course, we've seen it kick off multiple times tonight, but I think this is where we're really going to see that sustained absolute craziness that we know and love Daytona for coming up towards 20 to go. And I think that's well and truly go time for these guys, is getting with inside 20 to go, because that's where you're really going to start to see these people make the moves.
It really will be, and it's going to be exciting how this all will play out as they come out of turn number 4. Benny, the pace car driver, will make the hard left turn down on the pit road. Barney, the flag man, will have the Pine Gulf green flag in hand as we go back racing here at Daytona for a 21-lap dash to the finish. And already TJ DeBlasi is trying to work his way through and get the race lead, but Thomas Aaron has already got right in front of him to hold on and get the race lead away.
Here comes the 33 of Lucas Whitehead with a pretty good push to TJ DeBlasi. Now it's going to get him up to the 93 of Thomas Aaron. And these guys are going to get going here on this outside line. That inside line stuck around a lot better than we're used to seeing on these restarts. And it looks like they're coming with a pretty good head of steam. Sean Boundy, Jordan Durasic on that inside. Noah Rainwater in the 0-5 on that inside, trying to get it going and get that momentum. And it looks like they will here, as they're going to get up even with Lucas Whitehead.
How about Reed Foley? He was involved in the first big incident of the night, and he's right inside the top 7.
Yeah, of course, he started 35th tonight, like I mentioned, so he's had to go from the back to the front, back to the back, and now back to the front. So he's had himself an interesting race, and he's got a chance to win this thing here.
Keep an eye on your drivers as they work their way through the middle of turns 1 and 2. TJ DeBlasi trying to get to the inside. Not going to work, because here comes Durasic with a head of steam from the help of Sean Boundy.
Sean Boundy giving a nice, stable, aggressive push here as Thomas Aaron still leading that outside line. The number 6 of Jordan Durasic going to be coming in, hitting 200 miles an hour there into turn number 3. The first time we've seen the 200-mile-an-hour mark hit tonight. It's going to be by the 6 of Jordan Durasic.
Here they come through the middle of turns 3 and 4 through the trial, but Durasic needs a little help to get to the front of the field as he tries to challenge your race leaders. So far, not going to work. 20 laps to go.
Yeah, that inside line starting to die off now as Sean Boundy in the 35 needs to cool the car a little bit, get those temps under control before he starts making another big push here. But it looks like on that outside, it's going to be TJ DeBlasi still sticking with the 93. Of course, they could be forming a temporary friendship here, but when it comes to that white flag, we got to move to the outside. The 05 and Noah Rainwater.
Noah Rainwater tries to get himself situated as the 15 of Reed Foley trying to get himself going on the third lane. Not going to work as Tristan Bruce falls back in the sucker hole.
Reed Foley now going to be falling way back here. He's up in the wall for just a moment, but nobody going up to help him. Nobody wants to make it 3 wide just yet. That's Tyler Truex on the bottom there, starting to drift up just a tiny bit.
Really good racing up towards the front of the field as they continue to go around and get themselves situated. Tristan Bruce will lead the inside lane right now as we work their way down the Daytona Superstretch. A lot of racing still to go as everyone just jockeys around, swaps around to different lines as they get themselves going.
Yeah, Ryan Truex going to be pushing that inside line, or excuse me, Tyler Truex going to be pushing the inside line in that 69 machine. He's going to be getting them going pretty well. He's got that inside lineup, 2 or 3 cars of position there, as now they're up even with the 35 of Sean Boundy crossing the line.
Sean Boundy is doing a great job as he tries to go to that outside lane and gets that run going. You ride on board with Tyler Truex as he makes his run with help with Tristan Bruce as they go towards the front.
Oh man, big time momentum here as now they're up even with the 78 of TJ DeBlasi. Will the 93 of Thomas Aaron go down and throw a block to try and slow the momentum? Doesn't look like it, as they don't really have the momentum that they did last lap going down the backstretch.
Absolutely, as they make the run down the back straightaway here, it's as we see a couple of times people shout out Uncle T, as he is happily called, for Tristan Bruce. He's got a good fan base pulling for him here tonight as Tyler Truex tries to push him down into the race lead.
Here comes that inside line once again, trying to build a little bit of momentum. We really see this inside line is good for the first half of the lap, and then they get off of turn 2 and they lose all the ground they made up. As you see it right here, look how much momentum they're gaining, and there's not really any pushing going on that inside line, but yet they're still able to build that momentum. And then as soon as they get off of turn number 2, here comes that outside line once again with a huge push.
Big push coming around as they work their way through the middle of turn 3 and 4. Tristan Bruce now is caught up to the inside of Clapper and Whitehead as they come through out of turn number 4. Everyone's trying to jockey for position here.
Coming up towards 15 laps to go. Here comes the 63, the 93 of Thomas Aaron gonna be leading that lap. Of course, him leading that outside line. They've got a pretty good organized pack on that outside of about 4 cars that are able to push, compared to only 3 on the bottom.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do, and so far it's not going to work. They're going to have more help, which is starting to happen as everyone goes double file down the Daytona super stretch.
It is officially go time. It is officially time to make the moves. Oh, there goes the 69 of Tyler Truex up to the top. He's going to hop up in front of the 35 of Sean Bounty. Looks like he either wants to lead this inside line or he just wants to be up in that outside line, which seems to be the faster line here.
Seems to be the case as they will go, and now that outside lane has really stretched it out from the inside lane. They are now in comfortable spot to see if they can hold on for a little bit, not push the envelope just yet.
You know, we're really used to seeing stuff like this, as here comes Reed Foley to the inside. He wants to lead that inside line, but you know, we're used to seeing this with the Cup car here at Daytona. Well, we'll usually see that inside line die out, and then that that inside line will come in with a huge head of steam towards the end of this race. And here comes that head of steam now as the 69 of Tyler Truex getting a push from the 15 of Reed Foley down to into turn number 3, just about even with the 35 of Sean Bounty.
Tyler Truex now with a head of steam going to go towards the front of the field as they come through the middle of turn 3 and 4. Down through the tri-oval they'll go. Reed Foley trying to work his way and push Tyler Truex. Thought about going to the middle but had no help. He thought better of it and stays tucked up behind Truex.
Yeah, this inside line ain't going anywhere with the amount of wiggling that they're doing, the amount of moving around, the amount of shuffling that's going on with this inside line. Not really going to get much done if they don't get it straightened out. Reed Foley almost sideways off of turn number 2 there. He keeps it going, and they're keeping that inside line moving.
And they're going to go for it as they head down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4, but so far they are not. They kind of stalled out right now. Will anybody join them on the bottom to help pull them forward?
Doesn't look like anyone wants to make that move just yet, but coming off of turn number 4, that inside line does have a little bit of momentum, which we're not used to seeing off of turn number 4. We're used to seeing them lose a couple of car lengths. They gained a car length there, as now they're even with the 35 of Sean Bounty once again.
Sean Bounty has a good run, but does not have the momentum he needs to get to the bottom of the racetrack right now as they work their way through the middle of turn 1 and 2. But for Thomas Aaron, he is just trying to keep that Pied Piper line going on the outside.
Yeah, control on the outside. Said he could see the air. I don't think Thomas Aaron can see the air here, but he is definitely doing a good job as we got a 4-car breakaway up front.
With that 4-car breakaway, that's going to help them get away from the competition here and also maybe get a chance to where it could be a 4-horse race for this finish. But so far, everyone's going to catch back up to your top 4 as it's now single file on the outside, and then you got to go quite a ways back towards Sean Bounty where you see that second lane trying to go.
Of course, Sean Bounty sitting 6 on that outside line there. Now that inside the line up even with 5th place of Jordan Jurassic in that 6 machine, now working their way up towards the 63 of Justin Clapper. Will we see Justin Clapper make a move to the inside and try to get this inside line going once again? Doesn't look like it so far, but there goes the 69 of Tyler Truex up to side draft once again. He's going to get real aggressive with the side draft there, and it's going to keep him even throughout the corner here.
It really is, and they are going to stay even as they come out of turn number 4. A couple of cars almost hit the outside wall, gathers it back up. Now their top 3 are going to go and try to throw the block on that second inside lane because they know they're coming.
Yeah, the 63 of Justin Clapper throws an aggressive side draft, and it slows that inside line down just a little bit. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 69. Here comes the 33 of Lucas Whitehead to the inside now. Oh, we got a car sideways further back. That's Todd Lee, but he keeps it straight. 3 wide further in the front. Ryan Truex through the middle. Oh,
Caution is out as the 88 it gets turn of Oscar Henson.
oh man, just what I said, man. Daytona goes from calm to wild to calm in the span of a straightaway.
Absolutely chaos ensues here in the final laps at Daytona. Just now under 10 laps to go. We do have 3 attempts of a green-white checkered as we take a look at the replay to see what happened to Oscar Henson.
Looks like, oh, this is an older wreck.
That's the older incident from the previous caution. So we'll check with our replay here and make sure we get it right. Let's give it a second to go live here for us. Here we go. We might have it right here. And yes, we do.
Oh, this was in the second pack, it looks like. No, I don't think this was the pack.
This is not the incident here, but with Oscar Henson.
Yeah, this is the old wreck still.
Well, apologies for the situation that we have here with our replay system. So we'll go back live. It's now 9 laps to go, but tough break for the 88 of Oscar Henson.
Yeah, just an unfortunate set of circumstances led to that wreck there. Just a ton of craziness going on in the lead pack. I guess maybe scared a few people and caused a pretty minor wreck in the grand scheme of things, but unfortunately, it's going to spell the end of one of the races for one of these drivers tonight.
It seems to be the case here. We'll see what happens as everyone works their way through. As we should be going back green flag racing, probably with just about right at 5 to go.
Yeah, going to be a 5-lap shootout here, more than likely for these guys. And, you know, we were seeing how crazy it was starting to build up to be there. You think we're going to see more of that here, or is it going to be kind of a chill out for a couple laps and then go?
No, it's go time now for every single one of these drivers here. There is going to be no waiting, just all hustle and getting yourself up to the front of the field as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I'm looking at our results page right now, and looks like pretty much everyone in the top 34 right now has a chance at the win here, because minus Oscar Henson, who is sitting on pit road right now, we have 34 cars still on the lead lap.
Absolutely amazing to see the action we have here tonight as we get themselves lined up, ready to go. As we should get the one to go next time by.
It's kind of sitting here.
We're going to take a quick commercial break here while we get ourselves lined up, ready to go for our hopeful final restart of the night. You're watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated live on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Thunderclap iRacing series here at Daytona, presented by TLC Incorporated, live on Grid Vision. Taylor Burr is here along with Nick Stein, our producer Austin Derbyshire, as we're about to go back green flag racing with 6 laps to go at Daytona. It's Thomas Aaron and DJ de Blasi, the 2 rookies, leading the charge at the front of the field, followed by dual winner Justin Clapper and Tyler Truex in row number 2. Jordan Durasic, your pole sitter, and Lucas Whitehead round out your top 6. Then Reed Foley, Tristan Bruce, Sean Bounty, and Andrew Olazeski rounding out your top 10 as they come through the middle of turns 3 and 4. Benny, the pace car driver, will make that hard left turn down onto pit road as Barney the flagman will have the Pine Golf green flag in hand, and we will go back at it here at Daytona. Green flag is out. We're racing for a dash to the finish, and we're happy to have you with us. Who will come out on top?
A lot more even of a start here for both lines. Side drafting already starting to mix between the 2 lines. TJ de Blasi got the initial trying side draft Clapper going into turn 1. Just Clapper running in favor to TJ de Blasi. That's going to allow this side line to get back up even with the 93 of Thomas Aaron. As things are already starting to kick off, we got that 190-mile-an-hour game of chess going on already.
Here they go down the Daytona super stretch as Clapper tries to see if he can get to the inside and lead the charge. Durasic heavy with the side drafting to try to get himself going with a run as they work their way through the middle of turn 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Thomas Aaron leads the charge with help from de Blasi. How about Tyler Truex? He goes downstairs to lead the inside lane. No help just yet. He's going to side draft de Blasi as they head down with the big high five from Barney the flagman.
Justin Clapper now connected to the rear end of the 69 of Tyler Truex. Still no connection for the top 2 just yet. Looks like maybe 3 wide further back as now here goes Ryan Truex to the bottom. Reed, oh, we got a spin. TJ de Blasi's around. Sean Bounty, Ryan Truex, Anthony Burleson around as well.
Caution is out here, and Sean Bounty trying to hold on. Oh
no.
Big contact.
Oh, he got that iRacing death wobble going. And who was that hit him?
I think it was Matt Cherry in the 45.
Oh, man, that was, I believe, one of your dual winners involved.
It was. Tyler Truex was able to get through. Thomas Aaron and Justin Clapper. Jordan Durasic also was able to get through. Lucas Whitehead is good. Same thing with Noah Rainwater. Bobby Grant looks to be okay. Reed Foley was one of those drivers involved in the incident. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, this is coming off of turn number 2 here. I'm gonna see. It looks like Reed Foley make a 3-wide move to the outside here of the 69 of Tyler Truex.
I think it was just a bad bump right about here.
No, I think we're still...
I think this is a lap early, so I think...
Yeah.
So we'll give it a little bit of a lap, but you see the run that's going through. As right here.
Here it is. Gets to the outside of TJ de Blasi, and de Blasi doesn't expect 3 wide, and things just kind of kick off behind. Another look here. Off of the 78 car of TJ de Blasi. Yeah, I just don't think he thought he was 3 wide there, and things just kind of went absolutely ham there.
So I saw our producer Darby's pick involved in this incident with some serious damage. I saw your pick go around and have some issues. Don't know how much damage Ryan Truex has, but I think my pick's looking pretty good right now, I have to say, sitting in second place.
Don't get cocky now.
Gotta get a little bit of, bring a little bit of that momentum on my side here, looking to try to get a win in my driver pick standings. Yeah, I think it's safe to say your driver has some damage right there.
Yeah, definitely, possibly.
And then Darby's got some damage as well.
Actually, Ryan Truex may be okay. He really didn't have any big-time hits there in that 56 machine.
Matt Cherry, though, he definitely got some damage from that contact. With,
yeah, for sure. And I heard Todd Lee had a destroyed race car. Matt Garrett has a destroyed race car. A lot of drivers just got a ton of damage. Robert Colgan involved in that one as well. He's got a meatball flag again. Of course, he was involved in another big wreck earlier in the race.
So the question is going to be, do we go into green, white, checkered run, or do we get our first attempt of overtime with a green, white, checkered? That we're going to have to wait and see.
4 to go here. I think we may go green with 2 to go, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're looking at going into overtime right now, I have to say. As Joshua Koner gives a little update in the chat, he had about 10 seconds of damage, but he will rejoin the track sitting in 26th position. Give a shout out to the number 16 machine. Joshua Koner driving the SR Motorsports. I believe that's the Toyota Camry. Yep, that's the Toyota Camry XSE right there in the number 16.
I'll tell you what, Taylor, if it wasn't go time before, it is definitely go time now. These guys are going to get, this is going to get even racier than it was. And, you know, that was really crazy there for that lead pack leading up to that caution. So, yeah, things are going to get wild here. Oh, lights are out, so we are not going to overtime.
No, we're looking to have a 1-lap shootout.
No, it's going to be a natural green-white checkered.
So let's see if we can make it. Of course, if the leaders take the white flag and an incident happens on the track, they race to the finish. If a caution comes out before they take the white flag, we will get an attempt of green, white, checkered of overtime racing. So we'll see what happens here, as they'll be racing with 2 laps to go when they come take the green flag. Let's give you a quick rundown. It's Thomas Aaron, Tyler Truex on the front row, Clapper and Jurassic in row 2, Rainwater and Foley in row 3, Bobby Grant and Matt Holmes in row number 4, Burleson and Robert Walton. First time inside the top 10 for him tonight as he tries to get his way through.
What do you think the odds are that they make it to the white flag on this first attempt, Taylor?
I'm going to say it's 80-20.
80-20 as in 80% they wreck, 20% they make it, or the other way around?
Other way around.
Okay.
For the most part, these drivers have been racing pretty clean here ever since the drop of the green flag. Yes, we've had a couple of incidences, but it's not like what we see in other events at Daytona, or like we see in some official races where it's going to be a constant, green flag incident happens under caution every other couple of laps.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 50-50, not because I think these guys are going to wreck, but I think it's just going to get so crazy that there is going to be some sort of a spin somewhere, I think. And that's not a dig at these drivers or anything. I just think it's going to be the absolute craziness Daytona is known for, just catching someone out.
Now, after they take the white flag, then it goes the other way around. 80% of the chance they will wreck, 20% that it will stay clean and green all the way to the finish. But meanwhile, Benny, the pace car driver, makes the hard left turn. Barney, the flag man, has the Pine Gulf green flag in hand, and we're back at it. Thomas Aaron with help from Justin Clapper. Tyler Truex tries to get help from Jurassic as they try to get themselves up to speed as quickly as possible. The outside lane really lined up perfectly as Tyler Truex takes the race lead out of turn 1 and 2. But here comes Thomas Aaron to the bottom of the racetrack with help from Clapper.
Yeah, that outside line a little bit more organized. Ryan Truex, Jordan Jurassic, Reed Foley on the outside. You got Thomas Aaron, Justin Clapper, and I believe that's the 05 and Nicholas Rainwater on the bottom, but Rainwater falling off now. So it's just 2 cars fighting against 5 on that outside line. Tyler Truex is going to get clear of the inside line, and it looks like the 6 makes.
How about this right here? The 63 of Justin Clapper right through the middle as they come. Trouble, Tyler Truex. Are they going to keep it clean and green? Yes, they will. We get the white flag, and it's already going to be a drag race down through. Reed Foley takes the race lead as they come down through as they're wrecking in the back straightaway. We're going to keep it clean as they continue to wreck heading into turn 1. Now Matt Holmes is your race leader. Drivers just pushing and prodding their way through to get themselves up to the race lead. It's Holmes, Foley, Clapper, Rainwater, Walton, Walton and Aaron, your drivers who are in contention as they wreck behind. Matt Holmes trying to throw blocks. Clapper tries to get his way through. How about this? Clapper and Walton and Foley now will be the 3 cars to jockey it for the race win. Here comes Foley. He'll get behind the 66 of Robert Walton, but he is running out of time. Justin Clapper with a big run. Here comes Tyler Truex with a big head of steam as Walton. He looks to go around the outside, ducks to the inside. It's going to be a 3-wide finish here at Daytona as they cross the line. Robert Walton wins at Daytona. As we get official confirmation, no. Yes, it is. Robert Walton wins at Daytona.
Reed Foley finishes second there, and Justin Clapper from first to third in the final 10 feet of this race.
How about that? Robert Walton in that number 66 Chevrolet wins at Daytona. He was someone who was quiet towards the back half of the field for a majority of the race, but comes out to steal the win and claim victory at Daytona and punches his way into the playoffs.
What a way to get yourself in the playoffs on the first race of the season. 3 wide Atlanta style, though not as close. What a way to win.
And with that, that is absolutely a Ryko Performance winning moment here as he will burn it down at Daytona. And of course, we have to give a big thank you to our official partner of Grid Vision, Ryko Performance. Visit rykoperformance.gg to get some of the best setups that we see utilized in iRacing, whether it be for oval racing or short track racing. Ryko Performance is your place for one-on-one coaching and setups, as they have special deals getting ready for the new iRacing season starting next week as Week 13 kicks into play here in iRacing, as he will burn it down in here at Daytona. Let's go ahead and give you your full field rundown here for the Thunderclap iRacing Series, sponsored by TLC Incorporated. Robert Walton wins the race by, look at that gap right there, 0.012. I mean, just absolutely stunning. Justin Clapper in third, Sean Boundy fourth position, followed by Noah Rainwater. Tyler Truex will come home in sixth, so Sean Boundy does end up beating my picks. So dadgummit, good for you, Austin, to get the win out of our picks. Jordan Jurassic, Ryan Zunk, Andrew Olazeski, Stephen Lachinski, your top 10. Then it's Dominic Cahart, Chase Leahy, Gregory Shepsis, Thomas Aaron, Matt Cherry, Matt Hoyland, Brandon Slow, TJ DeBlasi, Chase Albright, and Tristan Bruce, your top 20. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we will talk to your top 3 finishers here tonight. Robert Walton, Reed Foley, and Justin Clapper. Next on Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC. Welcome back to Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated, as we'll talk to our top 3 finishers. Let's talk to third place finisher Justin Clapper, who joins us up here in the booth. Justin, for one corner you had the chance to win here at Daytona, but the next it was gone. Talk us through about how the action went for you tonight.
Well, I led on the last lap last year, and I finished the race almost upside down through the grass about 20 seconds. So I had that in the back of my head there in the lead. I saw the runs coming from the guys behind me. I knew I got way too far out when things got a little crazy there. and I just kind of put in my head, my goal tonight was to finish podium, and here we are, boys. So kind of getting used to this interview thing with you guys, so I'm enjoying it.
Absolutely for you. Of course, we go to Kansas next week. It's switch up with a different car. Your thoughts of how you feel confidently going over to the Midwest?
I tell you what, Kansas is probably one of my favorite racetracks to drive on, especially in that Xfinity car. It's a lot of why me and the admins have talked and made sure that made it on the schedule this year. It's a lot of really hard and fun racing there, and yeah, confidence-wise, it's been a good minute since I've been on that track, especially since a lot of these updates. So gonna have to turn and burn some laps and practice in the next week. But man, I think with my lessons from teammates on tire wear and stuff like that, right now the goal will be top 10 next week. But you never know.
So Justin, before we let you go, anyone you'd like to say thank you to?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to thank all my teammates at Midpack Motorsports and our alliance with D&Q Racing. Those guys stuck to the plan all night long, and we committed. You know, unfortunately, we didn't get the win like we had planned, but we got one of our cars to finish podium tonight. So, and we were all there. They knew we were there tonight. So, shout out to Mania Club and Commerce Cure as well. Without those guys, we couldn't be out here on the track tonight. So really want to thank them for all they do with that great cause for pediatric cancer. You can donate today at v.org/Mania Club to help us hit our goal of 40,000 before WrestleMania. So go ahead and check that out. And thank you to you guys for doing such a phenomenal job up there tonight. I caught you a little bit in the corner of my eye. Can't wait to go back and watch it.
Absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you join us up here in the booth. That is Justin Clapper finishing in third place. Next up is Reed Foley. He is with Nick Stein.
Reed Foley from third position off of turn number 4 to being not even a foot from the win. How are you feeling after that absolutely insane race?
I'm wore out, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but this racing is not fun. It's fun. It's just not, it's not easy to generate runs. You rely so much on the car behind you. And so it's hard to make passes. You've got to do really dumb stuff or really dangerous stuff. And so it just wears you out, man. That 100 laps around Daytona is way harder than in any other vehicle.
I'll tell you what, if you had another 10 feet, you would have easily won that race by probably over half a tenth. Knowing that, would that have changed anything you would have done off of turn 4, or would it have been the same strategy?
No, I only had one move. I let out of the gas going into 3 because I knew if me and Walton were side by side, we'd just kill each other. And when those two started fighting, I just had to go where I couldn't. The only thing I could have done was maybe hug the 63 a little more through the trial. I wish I would have done that, but you know, we led one lap. It just one lap too soon.
Looking ahead to next week at the Xfinity car at Kansas. How are you feeling about that one? Of course, the Xfinity car being one of the better cars at the mile and a half.
I can't wait, dude. No, I love that Xfinity car. Kansas is a great racetrack, and so you know, we were talking about this all night amongst the team. Tonight we were trying to race for the win. You know, the points racing, the stage racing. We'll save all that for next week.
Fair enough. And finally, who gets it done for you every week?
Oh man, I tell you, I appreciate my teammates JCR, and excited to work with them again this year, and super excited to have some good partners in Vineyard Vines and Interstate Music and all of them. So it's gonna be a good year, man.
Well, congratulations on the P2 tonight, Reed. We hope to see you next week in Kansas.
All right, man. Thanks.
And finally, we are joined by our race winner, driver of that number 66 Kodiak Chevrolet, Robert Walton. Robert, I mean, you were someone who was towards the back half of the field for most of the race, but here you are now coming to the checkered, winning here at Daytona. I mean, what's your emotion right now?
Feels awesome. I was riding back in the back of the pack the whole race, and I honestly didn't think I would have any chance of winning, so feels good.
Well, a lot of things go into play with this. This kicks you off going into the new playoff system and get yourself ready to go racing next or later on the season for the chance to win the championship. But we go to Kansas next week with a different car. How do you feel going into that event?
I actually really like Kansas, the Xfinity car, so should be pretty good there.
Well, before we let you go, Robert, anyone you would like to give a thank you to?
My team, TTR, and everyone that helps me race this, and that's about it.
Robert Walton is a winner here at Daytona. Congratulations. We wish you the best of luck and for the rest of the season, and see you at Kansas.
Thank you.
Robert Walton, your winner here tonight. As we bring this to a close, Nick, I mean, walk us through the action that we saw here tonight.
I mean, that was just honestly a typical plate race there. I mean, it was craziness throughout. We saw 3-4 wide there at the end, and man, Atlanta-style 3-wide finish there at the end. I don't think you could ask for a better finish to the race than that.
Absolutely great run from start to finish. But with that, we have to bring it to a close here tonight for the entire Grid Vision team who was able to come together to bring you all the action here, to the entire Thunderclap administration and teams and drivers for putting on a stellar show tonight. And, of course, for our producer and amazing graphics designer, Austin Derbyshire, my co-commentator, Nick Stein, I'm Taylor Burris. Thank you so much for tuning here on Grid Vision, and we'll see you next time on The Grid.